Hi Silem stars, you're welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, then you're welcome to my channel. My name is Silem. Pleased to meet you. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to drape a wrapper illusion dress as well as how to embellish it. I'm going to be teaching you these techniques with two different types of dresses. The first one is a bustier dress and the second one is a corset dress, okay? Now, I'm also going to be using a panel for one of the dresses to embellish, and I'm going to be using cutouts from a lace for the second one to embellish, just so you can learn different ways of embellishing. So if you want to see how we do this, definitely keep on watching.
Oh, hey, I didn't see you there.
Okay, so this is the first dress we're going to be working with. This is a corset dress with a yoke. I have a tutorial on how to make this corset dress. I also have a tutorial on how to make a wrapper illusion dress. So how to attach, the drape fabric. So once you've attached it at center back, you just want to take it from the back to the front, okay, and then you want to drape it to one side in front. All right, now when you're draping, you want to try to get gathers, okay, either you create gathers or you create pleats depending on the fabric you're working with. As you can see, the drape fabric I'm working with is net. Some georges come with net as the drape fabric, while some come with the actual raw silk george fabric as the drape fabric. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. Some is net, some is the same george fabric that you use for the rest of it, okay? So you just want to go ahead and just create gathers or pleats. That's essentially what draping is, okay? Creating gathers or pleats. All right, now you want to make sure that these gathers go all the way to the bottom. Let the gathers not only be around the waist, let it go all the way down to the bottom, because it looks better. It just looks very nice when the gathers, the drapes are from the waist all the way down. So once you have what you want, all you have to do is just use your needle and thread to just tack it to the side. Now try to tack it high up the waist, okay, so that it looks like your wrapper is starting low on one side and going high on the other side. That's how it looks really good, okay? So even as you're tacking it, still go ahead and try to arrange the drapes, okay? Still try to arrange the drapes and make sure that it's exactly what you want. You can also do this on your clients, but I always prefer to do this on a mannequin because I want to save my client the stress of having to stand for so long while I drape on her. It works great for me using a mannequin. So just go ahead and hand sew it. I've gotten some questions asking can you use a sewing machine to tack the drape fabric? In my opinion, a sewing machine is so stressful. Imagine trying to pass this entire dress under your sewing machine, okay? It's going to be quite tedious to do so. So it's best to just tack it either on your while your client is wearing it, or you can tack it on a mannequin like I'm doing. All right, so once you've tacked it, make sure you go a couple of times so that it's very secure. So once you're done, just go ahead and cut the thread, okay? Now moving on to embellishing the dress. When it comes to embellishing, I always advise stop, okay? Pause for a minute and decide how you want to go about embellishing. Now this lace I'm going to be using to embellish is from the George set. So I'm just trying to figure out what I want to do, whether I want to place it like a panel on the bust area, or I want to cut out the designs. I finally decided to cut out the designs because there were a lot of spaces in between the designs, so placing it as a panel would just give too much space and I didn't want that, so I had to cut out the designs. Now even when it comes to cutting out the designs, you also have to be creative, okay? You have to be creative. So I started by covering the cups. As you can see, I'm using B6000 glue. So I started by covering the cups like I said. Now in the lace, I noticed these curved designs on the lace, okay? So I cut them out because they were the pieces I saw that I could use to place at the edge, okay? Now the edge of your piece when you're embellishing is very important. What I mean by the edge is, can you see that this is where the embellishing stops? It is where the cups meet the yoke, that is the edge for me. That is where the embellishing stops. It's kind of like the outline, okay? It's very important because it has to be neat. It has to be neat. So try to cut out the parts of your lace that will give you that very neat look. Now, when you're embellishing, you also have to think about symmetry, okay? Symmetry. If you look at these pieces that I'm gluing at the outline, you see that, the curve of the piece on the left is pointing towards the left, while the one on the right is pointing towards the right. That's what I'm talking about, symmetry, okay? Symmetry means that they should be mirror images of each other, essentially. So just make sure that you maintain symmetry. Whatever you do on one side, ensure you do it on the other side. So once I got the outline sorted, all I had to do was just fill in the rest of the cups with the pieces. So an important tip I would give is sort out the outlines first when you're embellishing before you fill in the center, okay? That way you're sure that you already have a very neat outline. And then obviously, like in my case, it really doesn't matter how the center part is. You just go ahead and keep putting in your pieces until you're done. And this is what the dress looks like, guys. Can you see how lovely it looks? Look how the drape looks, and also look at how the embellishing looks. It's very, very neat, okay? So you just have to think about these tips I'm giving to you. They make all the difference. Now, moving on to the bustier dress. As you can see, the George set came with this panel. This is a panel because it's not like individual lace pieces that's on a net. This is actually a whole panel. So when you're working with panels, you want to look at the neckline of your panel. As you can see, the neckline of my panel is kind of like a sweetheart neckline, which matches with the sweetheart neckline of my dress. Now, I ensured that I had a sweetheart neckline because I knew I was going to use a panel. So make sure you pay attention to the neckline of your panel, and as much as possible, try to make your dress to match that same neckline. All right, so that it's easy for you to just go ahead and place it. Now, I just used the glue and I placed it on, the bodice area, and I also cut out the bottom part of the panel and use that to embellish the sleeves as well. And this is how my client wanted the sleeves to be embellished in an asymmetrical way, where one of the embellishing gets all the way to the neckline and on one side, and the other one stops around the shoulder. For the draping, it's the same thing. Just take it from the back. Make sure that you have nice gathers or pleats. As you can see, I'm also working with nets right here. So just make sure you gather it. Make sure that the gathers go all the way to the bottom and not just at the waist, because if the gathers are only at the waist, trust me, it will look funny. So once you have it right, just go ahead and use your needle and thread. Make sure you double your thread, okay? Double your thread and then go ahead and just tack it, and make sure you're tacking it very secure, because remember that these George fabrics have lots of stones and beads, and that makes it very heavy. So if you don't tack it well, there's a tendency that it's going to rip where you tacked it, okay? And it might even tear your dress at that point as well if you don't tack it very well. So whether you're working with a panel or you're working with a lace for your embellishing, just go ahead and do it nicely. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.